Ahoy hoy! If you've seen my last video, you'll see that I was off on a trip down to Leeds, which ended up in a bit of a disaster with the T100 cutting out on me, not being able to get it restarted, and in the end up I had to get it recovered and brought back home. I've just literally got home and now I'm going to have a little bit of an investigation into why it cut out. Now, with the nature of the way it happened, I suspect that it's maybe an issue with the ignition circuit, possibly a failed coil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the leads off and check that I've got a spark at the spark plugs. If I do, then I'll start looking possibly at a fuel issue with the carburetors. But with the way it just cut out on me, no hesitation, no stuttering, literally just bike went dead. I've just pulled the bike out of the garage and it started first time. This is similar to what happened when it cut out on me in Glasgow. Now, I managed to get it to the side of the road. It wouldn't restart, but after a period of time of it cooling down, it then restarted. I was able to let it run at idle. I then took it for a run round the block, maybe covered about half a mile, and it cut out on me again. So I suspect that it's something to do with heat and possibly with the coil pack being in use, heats up. So I want to just check that the coil pack's working. That will also prove that the igniter is working, which is mounted here under the seat. Now, there's a few ways that you can test to see if the coil's delivering through the HT leads to the spark plug. You can disconnect the lead and use a spare spark plug grounded to somewhere on the chassis or the engine block, and then you can crank it over and see if you get spark on the spark plug. You could remove one of your spark plugs and do the same thing, or if, like me, you've got a spark plug tester, you can just use that. So what I'm going to do is disconnect one of the leads, plug in my tester, clip that onto the block, and then we'll give it a crank and we'll see what we see. So as you can see, there's no spark being made within my little tester here, which suggests that there's no power coming through the HT lead. Now, I have repeated the same thing on the other side and it's the same situation. So I'm not getting power delivered to either spark plug via the HT leads. So that suggests that either the HT leads are at fault, which is unlikely because there's two of them, the coil pack, which there's only one that's common to both leads, or the igniter itself, which is back under the seat. Now, to give you a comparison, this is a test that I ran after letting the bike cool down for a little bit, and as you can see, there is spark being delivered when the bike's cold. It's only when it heats up that I have an issue and the bike cuts out. So I'm inclined to believe that it's the coil pack that's at fault, so I'm going to order a spare pack. It's about £30 online. We'll get that delivered, swap it out, and then we'll see if that's problem solved.